Every man believes that commitment is simply a choice made when feelings deepen, when time has been spent together, when the attraction has matured into love. But Jordan Peterson, the Canadian psychologist, whose words have shaken millions of men and women across the globe, insists that before any true commitment can ever be given by a woman, there is always a test. It is not a test she announces, nor one she consciously explains. It is not something she speaks of openly in words. Instead, it is an ancient, silent ritual buried deep within her psyche, a ritual that has been passed down through generations of female instinct, hidden under the surface of romance and desire. Peterson reminds us that relationships are never purely about affection, nor are they built only on tenderness and shared joy. They are trials of strength, of endurance, and of character. The modern man often imagines that if he loves hard enough, provides consistently enough, and speaks sweetly enough, a woman will reward him with loyalty. But Peterson warns, that is not how the female psyche truly operates. Before she allows herself to give the ultimate gift of trust and long-term commitment, she will test the man. She will push against his boundaries, probe for weaknesses, and question whether he truly stands as a fortress or whether he is just another man who collapses under pressure. In this video, we will enter the depths of this silent test. We will uncover why women test men before commitment, what exactly they are searching for, and how Peterson's psychological insights expose truths that many men desperately avoid. And we will break this exploration into 7 parts. Part 1, why women test men before commitment. To understand why every woman creates tests before commitment, we must strip away the illusions of modern romance. Men are often taught by culture, movies, and even friends that love is about feelings, butterflies, and attraction. But Peterson exposes the truth. Love may begin with chemistry, but commitment requires proof. A woman must feel at the deepest level of her unconscious mind that the man she is about to trust her future with can stand the storms of life. She cannot risk her body, her emotions, her loyalty, or her potential children on a man who is weak, uncertain, easily broken, or swayed by circumstance. This is not something she debates logically. It is instinct. It is biology whispering through her psyche. Peterson often emphasizes that the female psyche is designed to demand strength, not the empty strength of brute force, but the integrated strength of responsibility, integrity, resilience, and purpose. For women, commitment is not just romance. It is survival strategy. In the ancient world, a poor choice in a man could mean starvation, abandonment, or death. And though the modern world has changed, the unconscious instincts of women have not. This is why women test men. The tests are not merely playful challenges or emotional games. They are signals of nature's filtering process. Through them, a woman is asking, can you withstand me? Can you withstand the world? Can you carry the weight that will inevitably fall upon us? Men often complain about women being difficult, about women pushing too hard, questioning too much, or creating drama. But Peterson explains that drama is often the mask of testing. The apparent chaos is a coded ritual through which he determines his steadiness. If he reacts with panic, insecurity, or weakness, the test is failed. If he stands firm, balanced, and unshaken, the test is passed, at least for that moment. The test, therefore, is less about her and more about him. It is not an act of cruelty. It is an act of selection. Women are not trying to destroy men. They are trying to reveal them. The test strips away the masks men wear in the early stages of courtship. It reveals whether the strength a man projects is authentic or a facade that collapses under pressure. Part 2, how women test without saying a word. The most dangerous mistake men make is assuming that women will announce their tests directly. They will not. No woman will sit across the table and say, I'm now testing you to see if you are strong enough to lead. Instead, the test is woven into her behavior, her silence, her tone, her expectations. Peterson explains that the female psyche has subtle ways of probing a man's depth. Sometimes it comes in the form of a sudden disagreement, where she challenges his opinion, not because she fully disagrees, but because she wants to see if he can hold his ground without aggression or collapse. Sometimes it appears in moments of emotional withdrawal, where she becomes distant not because she no longer cares, but because she wants to see if he panics in fear of abandonment, or whether he can remain calm, secure in his own presence. Other times, the test is even more subtle. She may push boundaries, asking for more than she initially did, questioning commitments or doubting his promises. This is not always manipulation. It is instinct. She wants to see if his words have weight, if his actions match his promises, if his strength is real. And here lies Peterson's crucial insight. Women test not because they dislike the man, but because they want to believe in him. They want to hand over their trust, but they cannot do so cheaply. They cannot surrender without certainty that the man before them is capable of carrying both himself and her future. The test is her way of protecting herself from ruin. This is why so many men misinterpret female behavior. They confuse testing with rejection, when in reality the test is often proof of interest. A woman does not waste energy testing a man she has no attraction toward. She only tests when she considers him a candidate for something deeper. The test is the gateway. Part 3. The hidden nature of female loyalty. When men speak of loyalty, they often imagine it as something unconditional. They hope that once a woman has chosen them, her devotion will remain steady through thick and thin, through every storm, through every mistake. But Jordan Peterson warns that this is not how female loyalty works. Women do not give unconditional loyalty before commitment. And even after commitment, that loyalty is continuously measured against the man's ability to uphold strength and stability. This is not cruelty. It is biology woven into psychology. A woman cannot afford to attach herself fully to a man who has not proven he can endure. Her loyalty is conditional because her survival, historically and unconsciously, depends on it. And so before a woman commits her full self, her body, her trust, her future, she creates tests. And through these tests, she answers the question, is he worthy of my loyalty? Peterson explains that men often resent this conditionality, feeling betrayed. When a woman's affection fluctuates, based on their strength or weakness, but such resentment is misplaced. A man should not expect a woman's loyalty as a gift given without cost. Loyalty must be earned not by money or superficial charm, but by consistent demonstration of character. A woman must see over time that a man is not easily shaken, that he can carry burdens, that when life strikes hard, and it always does, he does not collapse into despair or self-pity. Here lies one of the greatest truths Peterson reveals. Women are biologically designed to attach to men who can carry the weight of chaos. They are not drawn to weakness, not because they are cruel, but because weakness threatens survival. Even in the modern world, where food and shelter are abundant, this instinct remains. A woman instinctively evaluates whether the man she loves will stand strong when the world turns against him. This is why women often shift their behavior in the early stages of relationships. A man may find that her affection, once overflowing, suddenly cools. She may withdraw emotionally or become distant. To the unwise man, this feels like betrayal. He panics, thinking her love is fading. But Peterson explains, this is often the moment of testing. She wants to see if his sense of self is dependent on her mood, or if he remains steady even in the face of her withdrawal. If he collapses, if he begs, pleads, or crumbles, the test is failed. If he stands firm, calm, and confident in his value, the test is passed. In that moment, she sees proof of his strength and her loyalty deepens. For loyalty is not given blindly. It is forged through these very moments of tension. Part 4. Why drama is the disguise of testing. One of Peterson's most controversial insights is that what men call drama is often the disguise of female testing. Many men complain about women being too emotional, too complicated, or creating unnecessary problems. They believe these moments are signs that the relationship is broken. But Peterson reveals that drama is often a coded ritual, an unconscious way of asking, can you handle me? Can you handle life? Can you remain calm when chaos knocks on your door? Drama is not always pleasant, but it is revealing. A woman may suddenly spark conflict, question his actions, or push back against his decisions. To the untrained man, this feels irrational. But to Peterson, this is her instinctual way of probing his resilience. If he panics, lashes out, or retreats in fear, she knows he cannot handle the pressures that life will inevitably bring. If he meets drama with calm authority, with clarity, with presence, she sees proof that he can lead. This is why women sometimes seem attracted to men who do not flinch. In the face of female volatility, a man who stays composed while she storms, who does not collapse into shouting or begging, demonstrates strength. He shows that he is not easily broken. Peterson notes that this composure is not about dominance in the cruel sense, but about stability. A man who can anchor himself anchors the relationship. But here lies the trap for men. If they interpret drama only as annoyance, they miss its deeper meaning. Instead of proving strength, they respond with irritation, resentment, or avoidance. They try to escape the test. Yet by doing so, they confirm her fears that he cannot withstand discomfort. Peterson warns men not to romanticize relationships as purely peaceful. Real intimacy is not free from conflict. It is precisely through conflict that the depth of a man's character is revealed. Women instinctively understand this, which is why they test through drama. They know that in the storms of life, peace will not always be present. They want to see if the man they chose can handle the fire without burning. Part 5. The masculine response that passes the test. If every woman tests before commitment, the crucial question remains, how should a man respond? How can he face these silent trials without resentment, collapse, or failure? Peterson's answer is both simple and demanding. A man must cultivate inner strength so that he no longer reacts from fear or insecurity. He must respond with grounded authority, not childish emotion. The masculine response that passes the test is not aggression, nor is it submission. It is composure. It is the ability to remain calm when she withdraws, to remain firm when she challenges, to remain present when she creates drama. Peterson insists that masculinity is not about domination, but about responsibility. A man proves himself not by crushing her resistance, but by holding steady while she questions his foundation. This is why true strength is not loud. It is quiet, consistent, and immovable. When she withdraws, he does not chase desperately. When she tests, he does not lash out in rage. When she doubts, he does not collapse into despair. Instead, he remains anchored. Peterson often reminds men that women do not want perfection. They want authenticity rooted in strength. A man does not have to win every argument, nor does he have to be flawless. But he must be dependable. He must show that even in the face of storms, whether created by her tests or by life itself, he is not shaken. This is the masculine response that passes the test. Consider this. When a woman challenges a man's opinion, what she truly wants to see is whether he has the courage to hold his ground respectfully. Not to dominate her, but to prove that he has a spine. When she creates drama, she does not want him to lose his composure. She wants to see that he can remain calm in chaos. When she doubts his commitment, she does not want him to grovel. She wants to see if his actions align with his words. Part 6. Why weak men collapse under the test. Every man enters relationships believing he can handle them. But when the silent tests arrive, when she challenges, withdraws, or creates emotional storms, many men collapse. Peterson points out that weak men often reveal themselves not when life is peaceful, but when life is demanding. It is easy to be affectionate when she is smiling, easy to be generous when she is soft, easy to be confident when she is giving admiration. But the test begins when she pulls that admiration away, when she withholds her softness, when she no longer gives easy affection. This is where weakness is exposed. Weak men panic. They beg for validation, thinking that if they just try harder, if they just pour out more affection, she will return to her former self. Others collapse into anger, interpreting her withdrawal as betrayal, exploding in rage that reveals just how fragile they truly are. Still others retreat completely, withdrawing into silence, abandoning the relationship out of fear of confrontation. All three responses, panic, rage, and retreat, are failures of the test. And Peterson explains why. They reveal dependence. They show that the man's strength is not real, but borrowed from her affection. Without her smiles, without her validation, he disintegrates. A man who needs constant reassurance is not a man who can lead. He is a boy demanding comfort. Women sense this instantly. Peterson notes that women are far more intuitive than men realize. They do not need a man to confess his weakness, they feel it. They sense it in his tone, in his body language, in the way he reacts under pressure. And once they sense it, they cannot unsee it. This is why so many women lose attraction suddenly after months or years of apparent love. The truth is, the man failed one too many tests. He revealed himself as weak, dependent, ungrounded. She cannot trust her future to him, and so her loyalty dissolves. Part 7. How passing the test unlocks true commitment. If every woman tests before commitment, and if those tests are not games but nature's design, then the great question becomes, what happens when a man passes? What is unlocked when he proves, time and again, that he is steady, strong, and capable of leadership? Peterson reveals that when a man passes the test, something profound occurs in the female psyche. The walls come down, the suspicion dissolves. The guardedness that made her withhold full loyalty transforms into surrender. Not surrender in weakness, but surrender in trust. She allows herself to relax, to give, to commit fully, because she now knows that the man before her will not collapse. He has proven himself. This is the moment when true intimacy begins. Peterson emphasizes that intimacy is not built on chemistry alone. Chemistry sparks attraction, but only strength builds lasting trust. When a man passes the test, a woman feels a depth of safety that unlocks her most profound loyalty, respect, and devotion. The transformation is striking. The same woman who once seemed challenging, difficult, or distant suddenly becomes soft, supportive, and nurturing. Her nature does not change, her trust does. And that trust is unlocked only by passing the tests. This is why Peterson insists that men must embrace the tests, not resent them. The test is not an obstacle to love, it is the doorway to love. A woman cannot give herself fully to a man until she knows he can handle her at her worst, until she knows he can endure without panic, until she knows his strength is not a mask but a foundation. And once she knows, she gives everything. A committed woman is one of the most powerful allies a man can have. Her energy, her loyalty, her nurturing, once unlocked, become a source of inspiration and strength for him. But the key to unlocking this lies in the test. Passing it is the price of admission to her deepest love. The test is the path. So now we return to the title of this video. Peterson on the test. Every woman gives before commitment. The truth is simple yet heavy. Every woman tests. Not because she wants to torment men, but because she wants to protect herself, her future, and the lives that may come from her choices. Jordan Peterson teaches us that the test is not a punishment, it is the path. It is nature's way of asking men to rise, to grow, to take responsibility, to embody strength. Weak men resent the test and collapse beneath it. Strong men accept the test, pass it, and gain the gift of female commitment that cannot be unlocked by any other means. If you are a man watching this, remember, the test is not your enemy. It is your training ground. Every challenge she throws at you, every doubt she raises, every storm she creates, is an opportunity to prove, not to her only, but to yourself, that you are a man of substance. And if you can prove that, if you can hold steady when the world shakes, then you will unlock the loyalty of a woman who has seen your strength and chosen you fully. Commitment is not given cheaply. It is earned. And the silent test every woman gives before commitment is the doorway through which only the strong may pass.